Hi, it's Chen. Along with the Holy Grail in the Spear of Destiny, the Shroud of Turin is one of the most sacred religious relics on the planet. The piece of linen measuring 53 square feet and contains a faint image of a man is believed by millions of Christians from around the world as the cloth Jesus was buried in. And ever since a photo negative of the linen captured by Italian amateur photographer Secondo Pia revealed an image of a body over 100 years ago, scores of researchers have analyzed the image, the bloodstains, and the fabric to try to confirm or dismiss the linen's authenticity. But after years and years of studies, tests, and debates, the final answer is, well, we still don't really know. Some say the blood on the cloth belongs to Jesus, and some claim that the face of Jesus was painted on by forgers in medieval times. This caused the Shroud of Turin to become not only one of the most sacred relics, but one of the most mysterious. The biggest focal point for skeptics is the carbon-14 dating conducted in 1988, where a small piece of fabric from the corner of the shroud was sent to labs at the University of Oxford, the University of Arizona, and the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology. All three places confirmed that the material was dated between 1260 and 1390, which is more than 1,000 years after when Jesus is supposed to have lived. And this seems to be pretty solid evidence to dismiss the authenticity of the shroud, but then researchers found that the dating that came from the top edge of the shroud resulted in a much different date than a piece taken from the bottom edge. Even if the image was from medieval times and not from the time of Jesus, there is still the mystery of how the image of the man was created, because every scientific attempt at replicating it has so far failed. But recently, researchers in Italy analyzing the shroud have discovered the blood of a torture victim on the cloth, and to many this would appear to support the claim that this cloth may indeed have been used to bury Jesus. The new findings, titled New Biological Evidence from Atomic Resolution Studies on the Turin Shroud, was published in the US Scientific Journal. The report says that the cloth contains nanoparticles which are usually not found in the blood of someone healthy. Rather, they, according to Alvio Carlino, a researcher at the Institute of Crystallography in Bari, Italy, reveal great suffering of a victim wrapped up in the funeral cloth. Also, according to Professor Giulio Fanti of the University of Padua, Italy, the blood contained high levels of substances called creatinine and ferritin found in patients who suffer forceful traumas like, well, torture. He said, hence the presence of these biological nanoparticles found during our experiments point to a violent death for the man wrapped in the Turin shroud. Of course, like I mentioned before, the Shroud of Turin has been an intensely debated topic in the world of science, and if these findings are true, then it would completely shatter the theory that the image of the man on the shroud is a forgery and is painted on during medieval times. Alvio also said that these findings could only be revealed by the methods recently developed in the field of electron microscopy and the nanoscale properties of a pristine fiber taken from the Turin shroud. Was this really the cloth used to wrap up the body of Jesus Christ? Or was it used to wrap up some other torture victim's body from the 1300s? This new report may have eliminated the possibility that the shroud was painted on, but we're still not a lot closer to the real answer, and we may never be. And maybe some things are just not meant to be figured out, and they're supposed to be a mystery. And I think the Italian physicist Paolo Di Lazzaro worded it best when he told the National Geographic that it is unlikely science will provide a full resolution to the many riddles posed by the shroud. A leap of faith over questions without clear answers is necessary, either the faith of skeptics or the faith of believers. So let me know which side you guys fall on. Are you a skeptic or are you a believer? Let me know your reasons in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I'll see you later.